On today's UI7 Newsbreak, we have the details on President Obama's visit to the State House and the advice he had for the stalled Illinois legislator.
And we'll tell you what went into setting up for the most recent Democratic debate in Wisconsin and protests that happened outside the event.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak, your U of I news source.
I'm Billy Hatfield.
And I'm Caitlin McClure.
President Barack Obama stopped by the Illinois State Capitol in Springfield last week.
He took the time to reflect on his presidency and make some strong remarks about the current state of politics in the United States. Obama's returned to the place where he first announced his presidential candidacy in 2007. This time, instead of discussing where he was going, he took time to reflect on the past. He spoke about the hostile climate in Washington, where little can be done because of partisan divides. Obama admitted that not being able to bridge that divide is a disappointment in his presidency. This reflects a similar story in Springfield. The state is without a budget due to partisan stalemates.
Milwaukee was the most recent stop on the Democratic side of the presidential race. This created quite the problem for those in charge. The stage was set for Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. The debate required 12 to 13-hour days over a week to transform the college concert hall into a presidential center stage. University grounds crews and students had to remove thousands of dollars worth of instruments, and the balcony needed to be removed to make way for the CNN anchor's desk. An estimated 700 people watched the debate inside the hall, and an additional 400 journalists were set up in the school's student union. The weather was an added challenge for organizers because the lows that night reached a mere 5 degrees.
The debate was also the stage for another argument. Some fast food workers used the platform to state their case. Some fast food workers used the debate to call for a higher minimum wage. More than 1,000 minimum wage workers from the area joined together to call for a wage raise to $15 an hour. The current minimum wage stands at $7.25. Bernie Sanders supports the wage raise, and Hillary Clinton says she would cap it at $12. Demonstrators held a similar rally 2 years ago in Milwaukee. They argue that they cannot make a living even while working full-time as the law stands now.
Donald Trump made a second-place finish in Iowa. Although he said he was happy with the result, he had some big accusations against the winner, Ted Cruz. After finishing in second in Iowa, Trump accused winner Cruz of stealing votes. The Trump campaign said that Cruz used dirty, last-minute tactics of shifting votes away from Ben Carson, who was back in Florida during the caucus, resuming his campaign. The Cruz campaign used this to imply Carson was leaving the race. He has since apologized to Carson. The Republicans are now focusing on the upcoming New Hampshire primary.
People make plenty of excuses not to vote, but find out why one Iowaman isn't skipping out for anything.
40 was your first one.
May I ask how old you are?
I'm 102.
Ruline Streninger has voted in 20 presidential elections, each time casting her ballot for a Democrat. She continued this tradition this year when she went to caucus for Hillary Clinton. Streninger wants to play her part in getting the first woman into the nation's top office. She was born 7 years before women were allowed to vote. Streninger will turn 103 in April, and her goal is to be able to vote in November. She shared this goal in her annual Christmas card saying, quote, "I can die later." That's very impressive.
That is incredibly impressive. 20 different presidential elections, not elections, presidential elections.
Right?
That's
I'm
about
going to
every
be
4
happy
years.
to be alive at 103, let alone voting. I can't imagine getting out.
I can't imagine, especially in the state of Iowa. I mean, a caucus state like that where voting is so important. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have here today.
Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.